Yo, welcome back to the show, everyone. I'm your host, Common. Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, today's a TEFER and TDM Thursday. So, because I did not give you the graffiti artist of the day earlier, I'm going to drop it now. So, the honorable mention graffiti artist of the day is TEFER, TDM crew from California. Shout out to you, Tef. Bro, you're dope. Shout out to Orphan for finding you. You know what I'm saying? Spotting talent like you. You started bombing it back in 2012. You joined TDM around 2015, and you've been doing fire ass shit ever since. Dude, you're a dope ass bomber. I have mad love, mad respect, not just because you're a TDM and all that, just you as a bomber as a whole, you're a bad motherfucker, bro. And I learned a little bit about California graffiti politics from you, you know what I'm saying? You keep it real with me, I keep it real with you. One of the things you had brought up is how hard it is to hit the steel over there. Like in Chicago, it's a lot different. It is dangerous and it is hard, but the laws are different in California. So what I did not know, what he shared with me, was that in order for, like, they can hit the metro, the train, but that's Fed time. So if they can bomb anywhere, and you know what I'm saying, they'll get arrested and shit like that. It'll be a misdemeanor and stuff like that, sometimes a felony. But if you hit the metro, if you hit the train in California, that's a federal offense, and you get like mad time. They throw the book at you. So that's crazy. But Tef has hit the metro 3 times, and the reason why he did it is because fucking some of the TDM brothers here in Chicago told him to do it. So mad love, mad respect to you, Tef. You're dope as fuck, man. Keep bombing, keep painting, keep representing the hip hop culture, keep representing the graffiti culture, keep repping TDM, because I respect that. Cheers to you, brother. You are graffiti artist of the day. All right. I'm drinking decaf, guys, so you guys know I get too wild. So I hope you guys enjoyed my little blog that I posted telling you guys a little bit about myself. I did leave out a few things, but every Thursday I'm gonna do something like that. Again, if you guys like this stuff and what I'm doing and the shit I'm saying, I am getting a lot of love from all my homies back home. They're saying, dude, this is dope. We love what you're doing for the culture. You know what I'm saying? Again, they wanted me to tell more of my story, which I did. And I'll share some more stuff. And like I said, I wrote a book called Nothing is Louder Than Silence, and a lot of the stuff is in there, and I was very candid, and I did not hold any punches. That book is fucking crazy raw. It's very sad. You know what I'm saying? I know quite a bit of people that wrote me and said that it made them cry. I had no intentions on making anybody cry when I wrote that book, but I did want to tell my story, and it's a crazy story. And it's not, the thing is about us Southside Chicago kids, that story isn't something that's just my story. It's all of our story. We all grew up in the struggle. We all grew up poor. We all grew up, especially the Mexican kids, I mean, because that's the communities I was from. We grew up basically parentless. We grew up in the streets, and that was the way it was. Not like it is today. Back when I was a kid, and a lot of you guys remember this, like, kids were in the street all day long. Kids were in the street, you know what I'm saying? And it didn't mean that our parents didn't love us and stuff like that, but they were busy doing their own thing. For me specifically, my parents liked the bar. They were always in the bar. So I was a bar kid. I grew up in the bar myself, you know what I'm saying? And there was no wrong with that back then. Back in the day, I could sit in the bar all day eating potato chips, drinking soda, drinking pop, and then playing the pool table, playing with the jukebox. And the bartenders and stuff like that, the old timers that would be in the bar, they didn't really bust balls. They didn't say anything. It was kind of normal. Maybe normal to me, but I don't think it was normal to everybody. But that's just the way it was. That was just the culture back then. And the 80s and the 90s in Chicago was absolutely wild. Greatest fucking era, generation, greatest everything. To me, personally. I do miss it. I really, really, really do miss it. And listen, this new generation, you guys, I get it, dude. Like, the way we talk about you guys, like the way you guys are quote unquote softer now, and you know what I'm saying, a lot different, more into their technology, and they're not as social as we used to be social the same way and things like that. Dude, my brother in the era, like his era, the 80s and shit like that, they said the same shit about me and my friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, my dad used to make fun of the TDMs when I was a kid. He used to call us the Mighty Dicks. I'm not kidding, bro. He used to fucking clown us and shit. because my dad, he thought we were fucking soft. He thought we were weak. And so it's just, that's the way it is. So now we say that shit about this new generation, but then our generation, the generation before us, made fun of us. Like we were fucking bitches and weak, and you know what I'm saying? We didn't do anything right, and we were lazy and all that stuff. And we were lazy. I'm not gonna knock that shit. I didn't never worked as hard as my dad worked. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think my dad ever worked as hard as his dad worked. You know what I'm saying? Like those World War II veterans were probably the baddest soldiers that's ever lived on the face of the fucking planet. Same thing with the Vietnam guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just, those eras were so different. You know what I'm saying? People were a lot harder, had to grow up harder, had to become men faster. And in a lot of ways, that kind of ended. And it kind of ended with my generation. You know what I'm saying? People were born in the early 80s. Our generation, we had to grow up real fast. You know what I'm saying? So I started working on roofs when I was 12 years old. Like, if I needed something from my dad or something for school or whatever, like new kicks, new clothes or whatever, I had to go work. I had to go work on a roof for my dad and shit. I had to lay shingles, bring shingles up a ladder, you know what I'm saying? Do carpentry inside someone's house, bring in drywall. Like, that's how I made money. And then my dad still wouldn't give me money. We would go to Jewtown, and I don't know if it's still over there on Canal Street in Chicago back in the day. And he used to let me walk around there every Sunday morning and let me pick out shit that I wanted. He would pay for it, but he wouldn't actually physically hand me money. But that was just the way it was, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I love that. It was a good time. And I fucking got to meet a lot of homies that way. Like fucking Smurf and Boar. Shout out to you motherfuckers. I love you guys. They worked over there. They worked at Jewtown and shit. I used to see them every Sunday selling shit. And that was dope as fuck, you know what I'm saying? And then when we were kids, like they were out working, I was out working. All of us fucking had jobs. And we used to steal cars. That's another thing I didn't bring up yet. And I think I'll talk about us stealing cars, because that was something that kind of hemmed up the crew a lot and got us in a lot of bad situations back in the late 90s, early 2000s, where we got into the car stealing business. And but yeah, I'll get into that shit next Thursday. How about that? Because them stories are fucking nuts. But dude, again, I appreciate every single one of you guys that listen in and listen to my stories. My homie I got to talk to today, Chaos. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you, Congo. These are my homies from fucking mid-90s and shit. Real badass graffiti artists, BTB crew. I love them to death, man. But he was saying, I'm doing something good for the culture, and it's good to have somebody from our generation to be out here and talking and putting a voice to what our life was back then compared to what it is now. So I'm happy to do that. I'm proud of our generation. I'm happy to be a voice for my brothers. And again, anything, and trust me, I'm talking to everybody. Everyone hits me up now that I'm doing this shit. So whenever someone gives me an idea or reminds me of a story, I'll share it with you guys. I won't always share who, you know what I'm saying, the names, because I get it. The graffiti world is a very underground world. A lot of people don't want credit, even though they're putting up their name and getting recognized as a name, but they don't want actual credit physically. They don't want to do interviews. They don't want people to know where they're at, where they live, and all that stuff. 100% understand that. That's just the way the culture is, and I respect that, and I'm always going to respect that. But at the same time, if they share stories with me and they allow me to share it, I'm going to share it. And it's good stuff, man. It's good for the culture, it's good for us, and it's good for younger generations to hear these stories, because yeah, it was different, you know what I'm saying? But we birthed what is today. You know what I'm saying? That's what's important. So thanks again for listening. I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in, all right? That's Common Underground. Peace, love, and flower. Out.